Alright, so I'm going to tell you about blaster mods right now. So I'll first start off by explaining blasters and loot. So there's two types of crates you'll find around the map. This is a large crate, this is a small crate. Small crates have a lot bigger of a chance to spawn because their loot is not as good as the big crate's loot. So usually they spawn scrap parts, but sometimes they can spawn things like blaster parts. These are specific blaster parts, not just scrap parts. Large crates can also spawn schematics. Both of these crates can spawn guns, but large crates have a bigger chance to spawn a gun. But schematics are limited to only large crates. So we just got scrap parts from that one, and scrap parts from that one. You're most likely going to get scrap parts because there are quite a few chests around the map for you to find. But to start with blasters, right now I only have 2 pistols enabled right now. I disabled the assault rifle because it was kind of buggy. But the DC-17B is the most common blaster. It comes in common, uncommon, and rare. And this one is rare. It can handle up to 3 mods, but we'll get into that later. Rarities do change the stats of the gun. A rare DC-17 will shoot faster, further, and it can shoot more before it overheats, basically. This is not a very good example though because I have it modified with a legendary and 2 epic mods. So let's unequip that and let's talk about the JNX. JNX, it does a lot of damage, but it has a small overheat threshold. As you can see, I only shot 3 shots and it already was halfway to overheating. It does a lot of damage, it shoots a little bit slower, but yeah, it's alright. They come in rare, epic, and legendary. Legendary ones are very strong. They'll probably a 2-shot kill, I think. And the rarity of your gun determines how many mods you can put on it. Common is 1 and legendary is 5. So a rare can only have 3, and so both these could have 3. So my DC-17 has 3 mods on it. It has Bolt Overload, which is the rarest mod. This one is the only legendary mod right now. And what you need for a mod is you need one of these little capsule things. They look like this, or the color on the side shows how rare it is. Heat Bypass is a rare. Usually the rares, I despawned already. Alright, the rares, they usually have a drawback to them. Like the Heat Bypass, it increases the damage of the gun, but it makes it overheat faster. The epic ones, like, let's see, where is it? Like Double Tap, it doesn't have a drawback. Like Double Tap Schematic, which is I also have on my DC-17, makes it shoot twice per click. So it's pretty good, but if you put it on like a JNX, like I can show you now, you'll see that it overheats pretty quickly because it can only shoot 6 times before it overheats. So to get to the gunsmith, Eerie Den, you have to do, you can come to this guy anytime you want, but he usually won't let you into his house unless you've completed the quest line. And since I am a regular gunsmith, I've completed the quest line, and I have modified my own guns several times before. He'll just let me in whenever he wants, or whenever I want, really. So you come in here, and here's the blaster station. You click on it, and you can see you can click on any gun to modify. And since this one already has full mods, we'll use this JNX. So you also need scrap parts, which are pretty easy to find. If you've ever opened a crate, you've probably found scrap parts. So we will first start with the double tap schematic. So double tap schematic, you need the schematic, which is like the plan or the design for the blaster mod, and then you need the actual part. And each mod also, with the part and the schematic, you also need a certain amount of scrap parts, but it doesn't tell you, so you have to kind of get used to it or know by trial and error. The less rare ones obviously take less scrap parts. So if we press create now, it'll say you may attempt to construct this blaster mod because we have the right parts and we have all the scrap parts we need. But if I were to put an extended barrel on here, it would say selected parts do not form an available blaster mod, because this combination doesn't make an available blaster mod. So we have to put the modified trigger back, press create, and then press confirm. And then I'll equip this. And then put on the JNX. And now this JNX should shoot twice per click. And you can see the JNX shoots slow and it overheats quickly. So now that I have this good mod on it, this would probably kill people pretty quickly, but if you miss, you're going to run out of shots pretty quickly. So let's find another mod. So a heat charge schematic. You can upgrade a blaster to allow for increased fire rate and heat charge, which means it overheats slower, or it has a bigger magazine size, basically. So let's take that JNX. Let's take a heat charge schematic and a titanium barrel. And we have enough scrap parts, and we'll create that. You may attempt to construct this blaster mod because it's a real blaster mod. Confirm. And now we equip it, and you can see now it has two little blue circles, or two little blue squares, because it has two epic mods on it. This one has one legendary mod and two epic mods. So now you can see it technically shot 4 times, or 8 bullets before it overheated. So the magazine size was increased, and the fire rate was increased just a little bit. So that's what mods do, and that's how they work with blasters. And that's one form of progression, I guess you could say, that comes in this game so far.